Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact reaction. Today we have the Morn 1,000 Roses Brings, which is a very long and very thought-provoking name. I don't know what to expect out of this, but the vibe is kind of chill. Maybe a little happy? I don't know. Either way, though, Happy Nara is the one who requested this, and a lot of people really want me to get to this one. A lot of people, like over 130, which is quite a few for a single comment, which is awesome. And I guess without further ado, let's go! My vibe so far was completely off. Ooh. It feels very Arabian Nights. Hopefully I'm not the only one hearing that. Ooh. I love the dynamic movement it has. Way more intense than I was anticipating. Maybe we're looking at the thorns on a rose instead of the petals here. Ooh. Oh! Oh! Wait, hold up. Okay, we might be partying it up here. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Oh, God. It caught me. I thought it was going to be like solemn and depressing, more epic and cinematic the whole way through. But now we're just kind of vibing with it. Oh, I love that. I love subverted expectations, even when they're my own. Wait a minute. I recognize that. Yeah, okay, I know that. That's definitely a motif they're utilizing there. I don't remember from what. Oh, I love the hard style kick in there. Having a lot of fun with this one. And now we're back to that very beautiful yet dark tone here. I wasn't ready for every emotion to be visited. Ooh. Okay, I think this shifted into 6/8. Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for everything else tonally. 6/8's pretty common for this sound. Man, okay. I mean, it's been a second since something has caught me that off guard and just completely shifted its vibe like halfway through the song. but you know what? I respect it. So I definitely recognize some stuff in there. Definitely that one motif at least. And this is totally a Sumeru song. It just has that vibe to it. Of course, they're borrowing a lot from the Middle Eastern area of music and like that vibe they go for. A lot of India, a lot of Egypt, that entire pocket of the world. It's just, oh man, I love that sound. And it's kind of nice to be back here too, because I've heard some other stuff from Sumeru recently, but not much from this side of Sumeru. I've heard much more from the greener side rather than the sandy side, and it's like, hey, I love this sound, and it's just been a minute since I've been here, so it's always nice to be back. And I kind of forgot that this side of Sumeru had a completely different musical identity, and it's so nice to be reminded of that once in a while, because I don't see these places, I don't travel around this game, and it's like going back and just experiencing something that has been a year plus in the making, something that I haven't heard from in quite a while. It's like seeing an old friend, and it's something I said in the other videos too, that it feels like going home a little bit. You know, you just kind of revisit this sound and you're like, oh, that's right. I remember why I loved this. And this feels almost like a sampler of everything I've heard from that side of Sumeru already. Like, there was definitely some other stuff in there I was recognizing, but just that one motif was really standing out in my brain. But it really felt like they were just remixing everything, especially with that hardstyle section in there. Like, where did that come from? I mean, I love it. It actually fits really well. It kind of borrowed more from like the Bollywood edge of music in that case. And I love that. I'm like, yes, let's do this. Let's blend some other genres together. Let's make things a little bit more interesting, flare it up a bit. You know, like it's always great hearing something more traditional and a little bit more tuned down. And that's kind of what the beginning and end were like. It's like, okay, remember where you were. Let's like re-invite you to this section of the world and kind of re-experience what you've heard already and get you like a soft palate cleanser of the vibes you're about to experience before just dragging you into the city center. Like, remember all of this? And you're like, it's gotten bigger since the last time, but I think so. You know, it's a really nice vibe. And I do love hearing that. It's just so nice getting that chance recently to revisit these. And this is just really fun. I can't even tell you why necessarily this song would exist. It feels very trailer. Maybe it is a trailer song. I wouldn't really be surprised in that case, given it does feel like a sampler of everything, but I also don't know. Maybe this is somebody's specific theme in here, but there's probably a couple in there since I am recognizing some stuff. But I also love some of the general approaches to what they were doing with the song. Like I already mentioned, the hardstyle bass in there, that was cool just hearing that remix, but also much more subtle stuff. Like earlier in on the song, I think it was like maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes in, there was like this soft humming underneath the music, and it's like, ooh, you know, like again, a little soft detail just to be like, hey, remember some more cultural impact of the music here, and let's bring in some of these things that are really common in this sound, and let's pay homage to that. Let's utilize that and try to expand upon it before we really dig into the rest of what's about to happen. And it's really fun just hearing those little details and kind of being like, oh, they've learned a little bit. It really feels like I kind of said with the whole, oh wow, this city's gotten bigger since the last time. It feels like a natural expansion, and that's a really nice thing to feel, especially if this is supposed to be a trailer for something. I feel like it's got the vibe of either you're entering a big city you've never been in before, or you're revisiting a much more fleshed out version of someplace you had already been to, and things are just bigger and better. It really has that like industrial revolution vibe to it, especially since everything kind of kicks in with like a new age remix feel, and like it's like a sixth gear. You're like, I was already at 5, but Jesus Christ, I didn't know you can get better. And here we are. I also do remember that some of the songs did kind of have that vibe already, and they were already doing that sort of thing, but this just feels like it cranked that to 11. But that's the biggest thing I can say about this one, is that it feels like everything I'd already heard before, but definitely bigger. It's really like they're trying to be like, hey, do you remember this? And I kind of dig that vibe as somebody who loves that nostalgic feel being utilized in things in general. It's kind of my vice, and this gives me that. Even if there are things in here I haven't heard, it feels like I have. And pulling that out of somebody is a genius tactic, but also kind of a gift to those who do have that experience and are able to connect these dots to what they've done before before, and I've learned from recent videos, again, the other Sumeru stuff, that this world is fully open. I knew to an extent it was, but I thought it was like kind of closed off, like certain sections were inaccessible at times, if not entirely after a while, but apparently that's not the case, and you can just kind of openly go to anywhere at any time, and it's all available, it's all an option. So that's why this song feels so cool to me now, with that extra detail in my mind, that this feels like the return to a place that you haven't seen in a while, just like the other ones kind of felt like that personally to me, myself, and I. This feels like it could be that for the entire player base, and maybe that was the goal. Or I'm completely overthinking it, and it's just a song from Sumeru, and I haven't heard it before, and there's nothing similar at all, and I'm basically creating things in my brain. I would honestly believe anything at this point. It's been so long since I've heard this side of Sumeru that I wouldn't be shocked if I'm just like making up memories at this point, but it feels so familiar. And even if that is the case, like I said, that's a great tactic and a great utilization of the musical language, you know, like being able to pull that out of somebody who hasn't even experienced the world like myself is still a really cool thing to do. And also a little bit gaslighty, I won't lie, but in a very positive way. Rarely the time where gaslighting can feel like it's a good thing. This is one of those where I feel like I've been there before, and I'm happy to have had that experience in myself. But I've yapped a lot on this one, so that's all I'm going to say. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to, by all means, drop them in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. And otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!